Welcome back to another episode of the Smart Body Performance Podcast. And today we're going to kind of go through how you can lose 20 to 35 pounds in 90 days and using a couple specific examples of clients of ours in the program as well. So I'm going to share with you our unique 5-phase methodology that help clients like Amber get her dream body in 90 days, Brooke lose 26 pounds in as little as 90 days, ready for a holiday in Cyprus this time last year, and hundreds more of our members, because, you know, when the clocks change, especially in the UK, or you have a beach holiday or even a couple local trips planned, there's one thing that I know, I would say for sure, you want to be able to go on holiday, look and feel your absolute best, right? So you have friends or, family members kind of going, how on earth did you do that? Or even better, when the strangers that are on the other side of the road are slyly checking you out thinking, I wish I looked that good, right? So this training and this kind of podcast on YouTube is going to be how you can get there, because I've been on both sides of the coin, where I was wearing a t-shirt to quote unquote protect my sunburn when actually I was just trying to hide the pot belly, right? And I've also been on the side of the coin where I've been in the shape of my life and I feel fucking great and I feel like I'm where I need to be from a physique perspective. So, from experience, I'll take the latter over the former every day of the week. So if you want to sculpt your dream body, losing 20 to 35 pounds in the next 90 days, learn the secrets to keeping this for life and walk out in the sun feeling your absolute best, but you are currently not knowing how to control social events, you're not sure where to kind of start your transformation journey, or you feel like you've almost tried again with every single diet and coach and kind of fad out there, and you're still not where you need to be, this training is for you. So I'm going to teach you how to complete the transformation and how you can then keep this transformation for life. So a bit background about me. My name is Reece Hallard. I've been, our brand Smart Body Performance has been featured in Forbes magazine for the exact 5-phase methodology that I'm about to run you through. I'm a family man, international speaker, so spoke at fitness events in Nashville, Tennessee, Portugal, Villamora, London, UK, Dubai, so on and so forth, Cancun, Mexico. And I'm also kind of gone through my own transformation journey where I was almost like in an energy, confidence, health, and completely transformed. And that's the reason why I created Smart Body and Performance. So whether you're in your 20s, your 30s, 40s, or 50s, at the end of this podcast or at the end of this YouTube video, you're going to be able to look in the mirror and go, I can't believe I get to keep this. And then have your friends and family thinking, how on earth did you do that, right? So let's get a 1 to 10. How good would that feel? Right, I want you to kind of feel almost think to yourself, how good would it feel to be able to look in that mirror, say out loud, I can't believe I get to keep this, right? So make sure you've got a notepad and pen ready to go, because the next 10 or so minutes is going to be super valuable. So phase 1 of our unique 5-phase methodology is called Design and Dominate. So this is where we establish your initial transformation target. So what you would effectively do here, and don't do this right with me because things are going to change towards the back end of this podcast where you're going to have to redo these calculations. But to get a kind of baseline of your calculations, you can take your body weight in pounds times 12. So if you weigh 180 pounds, you times by 12, we're about 2,160 pounds. So if you've got, calories. So if you've got your body weight in pounds times 12, that's your caloric target. Then to work out your macronutrients, you're going to do 0.8 of a gram per pound of body weight. So if you weigh 180 pounds, your calories are 2,160, you're going to have 144 grams of protein. And then for fats, you can do 0.4 grams per pound of body weight, which is 72. And then you're going to fill the remaining with carbohydrates. So that's going to be your calories, protein, carbs, and fats targets. You're going to resistance train each muscle group at least twice per week. So you're really giving your body the opportunity to retain and grow on muscle tissue as you're in a fat loss phase. So if you're training 3 times a week, that might be full body. 4 times a week might be upper, lower. 5 might be push-pull legs, upper, lower, as a generic example. Then for steps, you're going to want to hit about an average of 10,000 a day, stay in cardio at least twice a week. Usually I would recommend bike or maybe a Stairmaster, dependent on, your joints and your recovery. Then sleep 7 to 9 hours and water 1 liter per 20 kilos of body weight. Then phase 2 of this is going to be what we call recomp self-mastery. So this is more or less taking action on the targets that you've effectively just set. But this is where most people go wrong, because the idea here is having accountability. So whether that's from peers, so friends or family members, an event like a holiday, or a coach that's going to hold you accountable. A mixture of the three, you're going to be freaking unstoppable. But at least having two is where you're really going to find enough accountability to transform. Without that, because all the answers like are on this podcast, they're online, but action and implementation is where most people go wrong. So phase 2 is about being held to a higher standard, holding yourself accountable, and taking actions on the target set within Design and Dominate. And then phase 3, we call customization. So this is where you will move things around in your programming based around a new goal or circumstance. So if you, for instance, have a holiday coming up, right? You're going 5 days away, or even if you've got a social event, you're going out for dinner. It's how do we control our results in a fat loss phase whilst enjoying meals out? Because remember, we're not talking about normal fat loss. We're talking about fast fat loss, right? Rapid fat loss going into the summer. So a degree of sacrifice is required, but that doesn't mean you can't enjoy social events. So what you might do is you might go, okay, I'm going out for dinner on Saturday. I'm going to save 100 to 150 calories a day. So then going into the event, I have an extra 700 to play with, as an example, right? So you can have more food or have an extra cocktail. And then when you're actually planning the event, you want to kind of look, let's say, for instance, you're going out for dinner, look at the menu prior, kind of look at what you want to get. So you can kind of make more informed decisions ahead of time, as opposed to getting to the restaurant. Because if you're anything like me, you look at the menu, you order 5 things. Right? You don't even need 5 things. You're not going to eat 5 things, but you just see it and you want it. And then you make an impulsive decision, right? And then we have what we call a rule of 2. So either a starter, a main, or main and dessert, as opposed to all 3. Easy way to save calories. Aim for protein and have diet soda with alcohol. So if you're having Bacardi and Coke, have Bacardi and Diet Coke. Or if you're having gin and tonic, have gin and slimline tonic. So it's just kind of an easy way to save extra calories. Then phase 4 is called the body sprint. This is where the magic happens. So the body sprint phase is basically where you're at right now. So this is where we take the targets we would have originally set, we make them a little bit more difficult to sprint our way to 20 to 35 pounds of fat loss before summer. So for instance, what you're going to do is you're going to take your body weight in pounds, and you're now going to times it by 9 to 11. On the higher end, on the faster end, you're going to go 9. If you need a little bit more food, then you can go to 11. So if you're doing it by 9, it'd be about 1600, 1650 calories, right? And the same kind of things in regards to your protein, carbs, and fats, 0.8 grams per pound of body weight for protein. So protein target will still be 144. Fats will still be 0.4 times each pound of body weight. So that will still be 72. And then the remainder with your carbs. So we're effectively taking a little bit of carbs away when we're going into this body sprint phase. Then you're going to take your steps from 10 to 12,000 and cardio from 2 times a week at 30 minutes to 3 times a week at 30 minutes. So what you'll notice is we're creating a slightly bigger gap in regards to calories taken in versus calories burnt, which means we're going to drop body fat faster. And then your sleep and water targets stay the same, which takes you on to phase 5, which is the reward phase. This is where 92% of dieters rebound back to square one in a faster time it took them to lose the weight, which is a mind-blowing statistic. So to avoid becoming one of the 92% of people, so 9 out of every 10, just over 9 out of every 10 dieters go back to square one. So here's how you avoid it. Number 1, a sensible reverse diet. A sensible reverse diet. So what a reverse diet is when your fat cells are most vulnerable at your leanest point, you slowly and incrementally increase them by the week, monitoring your body weight, progress photos, digestion and performance, and making sure it's only gradually increasing. If you're going on the scales from, let's say 180 pounds, or let's say you just dieted yourself down to 160 or 150 pounds and you're shooting up to 170 within the first month, you're going way too fast. You're stacking on the calories way too fast. You want to incrementally increase it so you just slowly gain. So a pound maybe or so maximum, at the maximum a week. But 0.2 to 0.5 is better. You see a bit more of an initial spike at the beginning. So you're adding more carbs, which means water retention will increase, but you only want it to be small margins. And education. So engaging in podcasts like this are free training. So we've got so many free trainings like this exact podcast, but in much more detail on a free webinar that I created that you're more than welcome to have as well. So it's engaging with stuff like that that's going to really give you the opportunity to learn to keep the result for life. But you need to be careful. And the reason you need to be careful is because the influencers are lying to you. There's so many myths out there that you need to avoid listening to. Number 1, my favorite one, carbs make you fat. Now, this is Chinese whispers. Where kind of carbs made you fat come from is it's like every time we have carbs, we retain more water within the body. So scale weight increases. People oftentimes can't separate the difference between scale weight and body fat. Increasing scale weight doesn't mean you've gained more fat, it just means you're retaining more water, which we use for better performance and in turn burn more calories during workouts, which helps us lose fat faster. So carbs help you lose fat faster with also increasing your energy, which reduces your appetite, which makes dieting easier. So we look at carbs as a big fuel and a big source of helping you lose fat faster. Number two, weights make you bulky, especially for the women engaging with this. If you want to build a feminine, petite hourglass figure, resistance training is important, right? Because you have 1/10 to 1/20th of the amount of testosterone that men do. And although estrogen is the primary replacement, if you will, for growing muscle, still not as effective as testosterone in men. So when you see men lifting in the gym, you're not going to gain weight as fast. You're not going to look bulky. You'll be able to build like a petite kind of, feminine physique, like the kind of clients that you see over on our social media at Reese Hallard on Instagram. You'll be able to see our clients and how they build their feminine hourglass physiques as opposed to big, bulky, muscular physiques. Then cardio equals weight loss. Cardio is a tool to help you push a caloric burn, but it does not equal weight loss. The time spent outside the gym is even more important than the time spent within it for weight loss. So what we need to bear in mind is about 5 to 10% of your daily calories burn will come from the time spent in the gym, which is crazy because people think it's the other way around. So about 50-60% is basal metabolic rate. So this is just being alive. So if you can optimize your metabolism, you burn more calories at rest. And I've got free training helping you optimize your metabolism and hormones. Just comment MHE, which is metabolism, hormones, energy, and I'll send it over to you for free. Then effectively what we're looking at thereafter is we have thermic effect of food, which is about 10%, which is the calories you burn through digestion. So that's a huge one for us, especially in protein, to burn 20 to 30% of those calories whilst turning that food into a turd. And then carbs is 5 to 10% and fats is, carbs is 10 to 15 and fats is 5 to 10%. So to put it into perspective, if I have 100 protein calories, I'm burning 20 to 30 through my digestion, which is freaking mind blowing, right? So then what we need to make sure we're looking at as well is outside of this, we also have NEAT, which is non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So this is the calories you burn through non-planned activity. So me chucking my arms around, if you're watching on the YouTube, is NEAT. I'm non-planned activity. If I get my steps in, that's NEAT. So this is where 20 to 30% come from. Then 5 to 10 comes from the actual gym training. So the gym is about sculpting muscle and retaining muscle. And outside of it is dropping as much body fat as possible. Okay. So when we're looking at it, to put it into layman's terms, you just need to burn more calories than you intake to drop body fat. But the kicker is all of this probably wouldn't work for you because personalization equals results. So I've got tons of free workshops. The most relevant ones to this kind of YouTube video and podcast is our 10 in 10 nutrition course, which teaches you everything about nutrition you need to know to drop body fat faster. But while I'm here, I want to kind of ask the question, where would you be in 5 years' time if you didn't make the change today? If you kept your current habits, you kept your current routines, and you were not held accountable with constant feedback and course correcting along the way, right? Because almost everyone I know that's had an amazing transformation has had an experienced professional in their corner helping them. So you're more welcome to take everything you've just learned from this podcast, go and action it. And I truly, truly, truly hope you see amazing results off the back of it, because our job and our mission is to see a world transformed. So that's one more life change for us, right? But it's not the reality for most people, nor was it for me. I spent years making mistakes, trying things, doing things wrong, and consistently spinning my wheels, with no clue how to progress forward. And maybe this is you right now. So I want to offer you an opportunity that I wish I had. So this is your personal invitation. Me and my team will show you how to optimize your metabolism, muscle, and drop body fat for life, guaranteed. That's right. Your result is guaranteed or your investments were funded. So you can then get toned and live life on your terms. Like the thousands of members of ours you see, they've done this before you as well. So those transformations you see can then become your success story. A common thing we have when new members join the team is I want to be one of those success stories, right? And if you make sure you kind of tick over the boxes that we look for, so you refuse to take part in another fad, You refuse to transform with just shakes and pills. You're coachable and committed. You do not expect to transform by eating out Tupperware boxes 7 days a week. And you're over 25, motivated, and ready to become a success story. Then it can be you. The only thing we ask is where we're not able to take on unlimited amount of members because it's personalized and super high touch, is if you do not match those points I just went over, please do not apply, because we want success stories, not clients, right? So if you're willing to commit, work hard, and learn how to sustain your body, your brand new body for life, we'll match that work rate. And will be your biggest advocates and provide you the roadmap necessary for taking back control of your body, health, and performance. So if that sounds good to you, you feel like this is something you want, and you want to be surrounded by a community of people that want to see you win, then feel free to either comment or drop me a DM on Instagram at Reese Hallard with "I'm in." I know what you mean. We'll have a little bit of a chat and we can discuss whether or not we feel like you'd be a great fit for the coaching program, and we can get you onboarded to completely transform in your body and life. But thank you for your time. I hope you found this useful, and we'll see you in the next episode.